Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about something urgent and profoundly important. It's about the most precious resource we have, time. It's something we can't buy or get back, and it's slipping away every single moment. And yet, so many of us allow ourselves to waste it, allowing the days to pass by as if we have all the time in the world. But I'm here to tell you, time doesn't wait for anyone. And if you're not intentional about how you use it, it'll slip through your fingers before you even realize it. You see, life is not something to be taken for granted. Every second you spend here on this earth is a gift. It doesn't matter how old you are, where you come from, or how much money you have in your bank account. Time is the one thing that doesn't discriminate. It's the great equalizer. And when you understand that, when you grasp the truth that time is not promised, you'll start to see how foolish it is to let it slip away. There are people out there who wake up every day with fire in their hearts, with a purpose that drives them, and they're going after it. They're making their dreams a reality. But there are others too who wake up with a sense of dread, feeling like they're stuck in a rut, waiting for something to change, waiting for some magical moment when everything falls into place. Let me tell you, that moment doesn't come on its own. You have to create it. How many of you are waiting for the perfect time to do something, waiting until you're ready? But here's the thing. Readiness never comes. You're never fully prepared for the things life has in store for you. You don't wait for the storm to pass. You learn to dance in the rain. That's the difference between those who are truly living and those who are just existing. The ones who are living understand that they can't wait around for everything to be just right. They understand that life is about taking risks, about stepping out in faith, about believing in themselves even when the world doesn't believe in them. But there's a catch. There's a challenge here, a tough truth we all need to face. It's easy to fall into the trap of wasting time. It's easy to make excuses. I'll start tomorrow, we tell ourselves. I'll make that change next week. But tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes next month, and next month becomes next year. And before you know it, you've let years of your life slip away. And you know what? One day you'll wake up and realize that you've missed your chance. And that's when regret hits. It's a powerful feeling, and it will haunt you if you let it. Regret doesn't care how old you are or what you've been through. It'll remind you of all the dreams you didn't chase, all the opportunities you didn't take, all the things you could have done but didn't. And by then, it may be too late. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm trying to wake you up. You have more power than you realize. You have more control over your life than you think. You just have to take it. If you want to do something, whether it's start a business, go back to school, travel the world, or simply be the best version of yourself, do it now. Don't wait for some perfect moment to fall into your lap, because guess what? It's not coming. The time is now. Some people are waiting for a sign, waiting for the universe to send them a message. But I'm here to tell you the sign is this. You're alive. The fact that you woke up today is a sign. The fact that you have breath in your lungs is a sign. The time is now. Don't waste it. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I fail? I'll tell you this. Failure is not the end. Failure is a lesson. It's not a reason to give up. It's a reason to keep going. Every time you fall, every time you stumble, you're one step closer to success. There is no such thing as failure unless you quit. And as long as you keep trying, as long as you keep showing up, you are moving forward, you are growing, you are learning, you are becoming the person you were meant to be. And I get it. Life can be tough. Things don't always go according to plan. The road is full of obstacles. But guess what? That's part of the journey. The people who succeed, the people who achieve greatness, aren't the ones who never face challenges. They're the ones who keep going despite the challenges. They're the ones who refuse to give up when the going gets tough. So let me ask you this. What are you waiting for? What is stopping you from going after what you want? What's holding you back from living the life you've always dreamed of? If you're not taking action today, if you're not moving toward your goals, then you are wasting your life. And I know that's a hard truth to hear, but it's the truth. You deserve to live a life that's full of purpose, full of passion, full of meaning. You deserve to wake up every day excited about what's next. You deserve to achieve the things you've always dreamed of. But you can't do that by sitting on the sidelines. You can't do that by waiting for someone else to make it happen for you. The only person who can change your life is you. You have to take responsibility. You have to take action. Don't let fear, doubt, or procrastination stop you. Don't let excuses hold you back. Because when you waste time, you're not just wasting hours or days, you're wasting your life. And there's nothing more precious than that. So take a deep breath, look in the mirror, ask yourself what you truly want, then go out and get it. You have the power, you have the strength, and you have the time. Don't waste it. Time is the one thing you can never get back. So don't waste a single second more. Step into your greatness today. Don't wait. The time is now. Time is the most precious resource we have. And once it's gone, we can't get it back. Every second that passes is a second we will never see again. We often take it for granted, thinking that there's always more time ahead of us, that there's always tomorrow to do what we need to do, to make the changes we've been meaning to make, to pursue the dreams we've been postponing. But the reality is, time is fleeting. It doesn't slow down and it doesn't wait for anyone. The harsh truth is that we cannot control time. We can control how we use it, how we allocate our energy and what we prioritize. But the clock is constantly ticking, whether we're aware of it or not. Each moment that goes by is a moment we've invested, and how we choose to spend that time shapes the life we're building. We need to understand that time is not something we can waste. We look at our lives and assume we have plenty of time ahead of us, but that's an illusion. People think they'll eventually get to what they've been putting off, thinking there's no rush. But in reality, those later moments add up. Years pass by, and you'll find yourself thinking, where did the time go? Often we spend our time on distractions, small decisions that don't matter in the grand scheme of things, things that don't contribute to our growth or happiness. And the longer we wait, the more those distractions add up. Time doesn't pause to wait for us to catch up. It moves on, and the opportunity to act slips further away. Think about the moments you've already lost. Every moment spent waiting for the perfect time or waiting for circumstances to change has already been spent. You can't get that time back, and that's a sobering thought. When we squander time, we are not just losing minutes, we're losing chances, we're losing potential, we're losing our future. We are, in essence, throwing away the most valuable commodity we have. People often look back at their lives regretting the time they wasted, wishing they had made different decisions. But what's done is done, and the past is gone. What matters now is the time that's in front of us. Right now, this very second, you have the power to choose how you're going to spend your time moving forward. You can invest your moments in things that matter, in things that will bring you closer to your goals, in relationships that will nourish you, and in experiences that will shape you. Time is something you can't accumulate. You can't store it for later use. You can hoard it. You can only live it in the present. And every second you spend, you're either moving closer to the life you want or moving further away from it. It's your choice. When you start treating your time like the valuable resource it truly is, you begin to make better decisions. You start to realize that every choice you make, no matter how small, is an investment in your future. You begin to live with intention, understanding that the actions you take today create the life you'll live tomorrow. Each moment becomes an opportunity, a chance to move closer to your dreams, to learn something new, to help someone, to grow as a person. Ultimately, the most important thing to remember is that time is precious. You can't afford to waste it, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. Every second is an opportunity, and when you use it wisely, you are building the life you deserve. Don't take your time for granted. Be mindful of how you spend it. Waiting for the perfect time will only lead to missed opportunities. Act now, not later. Many of us fall into the trap of believing that there is a perfect moment, some kind of ideal circumstance where everything will line up perfectly and we will finally be ready to take that leap. But the truth is, the perfect time doesn't exist. If you wait for everything to be just right, you'll be waiting forever. The world doesn't stop for you to get ready, and life doesn't pause while you wait for the stars to align. If you're constantly waiting for the perfect time, you're only delaying your dreams. You might say, I'll start that project when I have more money, or I'll go after my passion when the timing feels right, or I'll make a change when things settle down. But guess what? Things are never going to settle down. Life is constantly evolving, and external circumstances will always change, often unpredictably. Waiting for things to align exactly as you want is a trap that keeps you stuck in place, postponing your progress. Every day you put things off, you're not just delaying your goals, you're allowing fear, uncertainty, and doubt to dictate your life. The fear of failure, the fear of making the wrong choice, the fear of the unknown. All of these hold us back from stepping out into the unknown. But in order to grow, in order to succeed, you must first take that leap. The act of moving forward, even when things aren't perfect, is what leads to growth. It is through action that you begin to learn, adapt, and improve. Perfectionism is an illusion. It's a paralyzing force that keeps you from achieving your full potential. The truth is, you will never feel fully prepared. You will never feel 100% ready for something big. If you wait until you feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. The key is to take action before you feel ready. The key is to start where you are with what you have and trust that the process will reveal itself as you move forward. The more you wait, the more time you waste, and the more opportunities slip through your fingers. You have to realize that taking action now, even in imperfect circumstances, is far more powerful than sitting idle, waiting for everything to be just right. The perfect time doesn't exist, but the right time is always now. Failure is not the end, it's part of the journey towards success. Many people are afraid to fail, and that fear holds them back from even trying. They see failure as something final, something that defines them and their abilities. But failure is not a permanent state. It's simply a stepping stone, a lesson that teaches us more about ourselves, our goals, and the world around us than any success ever could. In reality, failure is a vital part of the process. Without it, success would be shallow, unearned, and unappreciated. When you fail, you don't lose. You gain knowledge, you gain experience, you gain resilience. Each time you fall, you learn how not to approach something, and that knowledge brings you one step closer to figuring out the right approach. Success doesn't come from never failing, it comes from learning how to rise after you fall, from continuing to push forward despite setbacks. The most successful people in the world didn't reach their heights because they were always right. They reached them because they kept going even after they were wrong. They understood that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a necessary part of growth. Think about the times you've encountered setbacks in your life. At the time, it probably felt like the end of the world. You might have been crushed by disappointment, wondering if it was all worth it. But when you look back now, those moments of failure were the times that shaped you. They were the moments that taught you the most. You became stronger, wiser, more equipped to face future challenges because they force you to reevaluate, adjust, and improve. Without failure, there is no room for progress. Success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about embracing it, learning from it, and continuing to move forward with the knowledge that each failure brings you closer to your goal. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. The fear of failure only holds you back if you let it. If you reframe failure as an opportunity rather than a defeat, you'll find that each setback is an invitation to try again, better equipped than before. The only true failure is the failure to try, to give up and to stop learning. Keep going and remember, failure is not the end, it's just part of the journey. Life is about taking risks and stepping out in faith even when the path is uncertain. If you wait for complete certainty before making a move, you might never make one at all. The truth is, life doesn't always present you with clear directions or guarantees. You won't always have all the answers, and the future will never be fully mapped out. Yet it's through those moments of uncertainty and the willingness to step into the unknown that we experience growth and transformation. The greatest accomplishments and breakthroughs in life come when we take that leap, even when we're unsure of what lies ahead. Risk is uncomfortable. It's not something that comes naturally to everyone, and it often brings fear and doubt to the surface. But without risk, there is no reward. Without taking that chance, you will never know what could have been possible. Success, whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, often requires us to take bold steps that are outside of our comfort zones. It requires us to believe in ourselves, even when there's no guarantee that things will work out exactly as we hope. When you take risks, you're not just gambling with your future. You're learning, evolving, and testing your potential. It's easy to stay in the safety of the known, where things feel comfortable and predictable, but the comfort zone is also the place where dreams stagnate, where innovation gets stifled, and where growth is limited. To reach your full potential, you have to be willing to take risks that challenge you, that push you beyond what you thought was possible. It's in those moments of discomfort, when everything feels uncertain, that the most powerful shifts happen. Stepping out in faith is also about trusting in yourself, even when you can't see the whole picture. Faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting that the next step will reveal itself once you take the first. You may not know exactly how things will unfold, but you can trust that if you keep moving, you'll be guided in the right direction. It's about trusting that the universe has a plan for you, and that sometimes the only way to access that plan is to take a step forward, even when you can't see the whole road ahead. Taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. It means being bold enough to step into the unknown with the belief that even if things don't go as planned, you will learn, grow, and adapt. It's about having the courage to move forward despite the fear, and the faith to trust that each step will bring you closer to the life you're meant to live. The lessons learned from failure are often the most valuable ones. The only person who can change your life is you. Take responsibility and make it happen. It's easy to blame external circumstances, other people, or even fate for where we are in life. We often look for someone or something to blame when things aren't going the way we want them to, but the truth is, you are the captain of your own ship, and no one else can steer it for you. While you may not be able to control everything that happens to you, you absolutely have control over how you respond, how you act, and what steps you take toward the life you want to create. Taking responsibility means owning your choices. It means acknowledging that regardless of what has happened in your past, you have the power to shape your future. You can't control all the circumstances around you, but you can control how you react to them. Instead of waiting for the world to change or for someone else to give you permission, you have the ability to take action right now. The power lies within you to make the choices that will propel you forward. You are responsible for your own happiness, your own success, and your own growth. No one else can live your life for you. When you take responsibility, you stop looking for excuses. You stop pointing fingers and start looking at what you can do to move forward. It's about taking ownership of your life instead of waiting for someone else to create the life you want. You can't rely on others to do the heavy lifting for you. If you want change, you have to be the one to create it. The more you take control of your decisions, the more you will begin to see that you have the power to transform your circumstances, one step at a time. The key to taking responsibility is understanding that you are not a victim of your circumstances. No matter where you are right now, no matter what challenges you may be facing, you have the ability to change your situation. The moment you take responsibility is the moment you stop being passive and start becoming active in the creation of your future. You become empowered because you realize that your destiny is not determined by others, but by the choices you make every single day. It's not always easy. Taking responsibility means making tough decisions, confronting your fears, and stepping out of your comfort zone. But it also means that you're in control. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to rely on luck. And you don't have to blame anyone else for where you are. You are the one who can change the course of your life. And it starts with you making the decision to take full responsibility for everything you do, every action you take, and every moment you live. The journey to living a fulfilled, successful life is not about waiting for the perfect circumstances or relying on others to make it happen for you. It's about taking ownership of your time, your choices, and your actions. Time is a fleeting resource that should never be wasted. Every moment counts, and the more consciously we live, the more we can shape the life we want. Remember, success doesn't come from avoiding failure, but from learning and growing through it. Failure is an essential part of the process, teaching us resilience and offering valuable lessons that success alone cannot provide. It's also about taking risks, stepping outside of your comfort zone and moving forward even when the path ahead is unclear. When you take action in faith, you trust that the steps you take today will lead you toward a brighter future. Most importantly, the power to change your life rests in your hands. You are the one who decides what direction you will take. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, everything shifts. Your future begins to unfold the way you choose to create it. Don't wait. The time to act is now.